Hey, good morning, Wise. I haven't checked in with you guys in about a week. I thought I'd check in, see what you ladies are up to. Hoping that all is well with you. Hoping and praying that all is well with you. I wanted to come on real fast and just share just a quick little, a little word just to kind of give you some type of encouragement to let you know that, hey, you are not alone on this journey. Come on, Jesus. Good morning, ladies. You are not alone on this journey. Listen, I'm up here in the GA. It is 30 plus degrees today. It is 30 plus degrees today. So Georgia is acting crazy. Hey, happy holidays to you as well. I ain't seen you in forever. Good morning. Y'all up early. Huh? Y'all is up early. Good morning. I miss you guys. I haven't came on live for a while. Listen, baby, life is lifing right now, okay? Life is lifing. I'm sure like for many, life is lifing for many of us. But I wanted to come on. Like I told y'all, I'm still having sessions in between my, hiatus, my little getaway. Rebuilding in love. I like that. Okay, come on, Jesus. That's a good way. That's a good way to build. Rebuilding in love. I like that. So y'all know I still have sessions. In between time. And so I had a session on yesterday and I was speaking with a young lady, and one of the things that came up was about, your holding place, like, this holding space, this place, like you at a standstill, like nothing is happening, nothing is moving. You have followed through the instructions of the Lord. You have done everything that God has asked you to. You have, executed all the instructions. You have did things verbatim, thus said the Lord, and nothing is happening. Nothing is moving. Nothing is changing for you. And so this is what I'm learning. This is what I'm learning a lot of, people are at. I'm in this season. Oh, wait a minute, let me make sure y'all can see me. A lot of people are, in this place, in this season where they are at that standstill place where nothing is happening, nothing is moving, even though they have received instructions from the Lord, even though some of the things that the Lord has even told them and has instructed them to do has kind of like backfired on them in a sense. Oh my God, isn't that the worst? That is the worst, to know that, all right, God, here I am with these instructions. Here I am doing what you have called me to do. Here I am, following through, and to do those things now, and for it to backfire on me. And now you don't hear anything. You don't hear anything. You don't hear his voice. He ain't talking back. God ain't saying nothing. You going to him in prayer. You fasting. Lord, did I do something wrong? Did I drop the ball along the way? Did something go left? Like, what is going on, Jesus? And how did I get to this place? What is going on? And what is it that I need to be doing next? And so as I was sharing with the young lady on yesterday, I was explaining to her that holding space is your safe space. Come on, Jesus. That holding space is your safe space. Many times, what happens is a lot of times people move without hearing the next instruction from the Lord. They move because they like, okay, well, I'm just going to just do this. I'm going to just do that. And yes, there are some times when you are supposed to walk by faith. There are some times when you are supposed to move by faith. There are some times when you are supposed to, you take that first step and then wait for God to take that next step. But when you are pursuing the Lord and you have been going after him and you have been pursuing his instructions and you have been doing the things that he's asked you to do, and then all of a sudden the very thing he has asked you to do and to pursue has now seemed to backfire on you. And now you go to him again and saying like, God, what is next? And he don't say anything. Now you're in this holding place. You're in this holding place like, okay, God, what happened? I want you to know on today, that holding space, that holding place is your safe space. That holding place, that standstill place is your safe space. Listen, Wise, be encouraged. God knows exactly what he is doing. God knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. And even though it may not seem fair, and even though it may not seem right, and even though it may not make sense, and even though you like, I'm kind of off a little bit here. I don't really know what's next. I don't really know what's going on. Even though you may be in that space, Even though, even though we may be in that space, in that, in that place, I want you to know that holding place, that standstill, after you have pursued these instructions, after you have followed through what the Lord has said, that standing still place is your safe space. That standing still place is your safe place. And the reason it is your safe place is because now God is getting ready to work a miracle. Come on, Jesus. God is getting ready to work a miracle. Come on, Jesus. God is getting ready to show you who he is. Come on, Jesus. God is getting ready to show all the way out for you in this season. Come on, Jesus. God is saying, I need you to just hold it right there. Just hold it right there. And I ain't gonna say nothing else. And I don't want you to say nothing else. And I don't want you to do nothing else. I want you to just hold it still right there. When you have done all you can do, wife, when you have pursued the instructions of the Lord, when you have followed through the things that God has asked you to do, and now it seems like the very thing that God has asked me to do has now fallen backwards or has now come against me, and now I'm going back to God and like, hey, I thought you had said, because you had told me, okay, so you had said this, so why we at it? What had happened? And God not responding, and God not saying nothing, and God not saying anything else to you. You have to know you are in the safest place. Come on, Jesus. You have to know you are in the safest place. And now God is shielding you. Now God is covering you. Now God is protecting you. And I'm not saying that he wasn't doing those things before. I'm saying right now you are in the most divine place that you have ever been on this journey. You are in the most divine place that you have ever been. When God is not speaking, when God is not saying nothing, and you have pursued his instructions, you have done the things that he has asked of you, and you are now at this standstill, and you are not at this place like, okay, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go back? Do I go forward? What is it I'm supposed to do? Stand still. Stand still because you are in the safest place. Stand still because you are about to witness a miracle. Stand still because God is doing his best work. Stand still because God's going to show all the way out for you. Come on, Jesus. Stand still because this is the safe place for you. Now, one of the things I always encourage my wives, of course, to make sure that you are hearing from God. Make sure you know how God speaks to you. Make sure you know how God communes with you. Make sure that you know how God communicates with you. And a lot of times, sometimes God, even when he's not speaking, come on, Jesus, even when he's not speaking, he's still speaking. Even when he's not speaking, he's still speaking. He may not be speaking with you with a necessary of audible voice that you may have been used to, but he is speaking. He is speaking. And one of the ways that I know for myself, God speaks to me is through the cross. Come on, Jesus. Anytime I see that cross, I know God is speaking. I know God is working. I know God is doing something. I know God is showing up in some kind of way. I know God is doing things. And one of the ways I have always noticed that when God is not necessarily speaking to me directly or saying something to me directly, when I get up in the morning and I look up in the sky and I see that cross, and baby, I'm trying to show y'all. I can't even show. I woke up this morning and it was like 10 crosses all across the sky. It was like cross. And so one of the ways that God speaks to me when he is not speaking to me, when I can necessarily hear him with audio voice, he speaks to me through the cross. He speaks to me through the cross. And wife, I want to encourage you, find out which way God is speaking to you, even though you're not hearing him clearly, even though you're not really sure what's next. Find out what is the other way that he speaks to you. Yes, he speaks to us through scripture. Yes, he speaks to us, through signs. Yes, he speaks to us through our circumstances. Yes, he speaks to us through different things. But one thing I know for sure is God speaks to me through the cross. And you wife have to find out how God is speaking to you, even when you don't hear his audible voice. How God is speaking to you, even when you don't know or what's not clear. How do you know that God is still with you, even when everything around you is showing all the signs that he's not? How do you know God is still with you and he's still working on your behalf and he hasn't left you? The Bible reminds us that he would never leave us nor forsake us. How do you know that God has not left you or forsaken you? You know this by how he communicates with you. Okay. Yes, we can stand on the Bible. We can stand on the word. We can seal that. We can take the scriptures to the bank. We can process those, the scriptures. We can take the scriptures all the way to cash it in. And that works. But there are some seasons, wife, and there are some times when even the scripture necessarily not saying that it does not work, but it's like, that ain't doing it. That ain't breaking. You can listen to a sermon over and over again. It's like, I'm still, feeling some kind of way. I still got discomfort. I'm still struggling. I'm still going through some stuff. That scripture, I'm fasting. That ain't work. That ain't broke it either. I'm still struggling. I'm still in this thing. Wise, you got to find out which way God talks to you. Even when he's not talking to you with his necessary audible voice, even when he's not talking to you with the way that you normally are used to him talking to you, you got to find out which way. For me, God speaks to me through the cross. You have to know, wise, when God is not speaking and he has given you instructions and you have followed through with those instructions and nothing else is working and it seems like everything is crumbling down, you are at your standstill place. Listen, this is a season where life is lifing for many of us, okay? Life is lifing for many of us, but I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you, guys, to stand tall. I always tell you to stand up in it, okay? Stand up in it. It may hurt. It may be painful. It may not, make sense. It may be discomforting, but I want to remind you to stand up in it. Stand up in it, because what seems impossible to us is definitely possible with God. Listen, guys, if you still are in a place where you're like, I need some help, Coach T. I need help on this journey. I need to know what I'm doing. I need to make sure that I'm going in the right way. Or I need some clarity. I don't even know if I have heard from God. I don't even know if God has even spoken to me. Listen, I want to encourage you to get my mini training. You can get my mini training where you can do it yourself. You can just read through the steps. It's a 30-day strategy that you can go by and get clarity. Or if you're ready to sign up for your consultation, you can sign up for your consultation. You can do that at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, if God has given you the instruction and you have followed through those instructions and now you are at a place at a standstill, please understand that standstill place is the safest place for you right now. That is God doing his best work right now. Stand on it. How they say, stand up on business, stand up in it. Stand up in that safe place knowing that God got your back. All right? Listen, y'all take care of yourselves and I'll talk to you soon. Blessings.